Saturday night and live on 2K Sports. We've got the excitement of the NBA for you tonight. Hi, everyone. This is Kevin Harlan, and joining us tonight, Greg Anthony and Hall of Famer Doris Burke. And reporting from the sidelines, our very own David Aldridge. And let's see what the Nets have coming up. On Monday, they'll head out on the road to face the Pistons in Detroit. And then on Wednesday, they'll be facing Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers.
And that matchup against the Bucks, that one will mark game number 6 for them in the NBA season. We'll see if there are any adjustments between now and then to the rotation.
So here's Miami's starting group. They've got Grant Williams, Hero out there with Paul George. Then it's Naz Reid. And for the Nets, down on the block, it's Johnson with Claxton. Then it's Exum. Then it's Thomas. And even as early as it is in the season, Doris, we've got some surprising teams off to great starts.
Yeah, and I think, Kevin, the real challenge isn't getting off to that tremendous start. It's about making sure you're playing the right way and that you continue to build on that momentum. Because here's the quick thing you need to know. It's all about habits and building the right habits as you march toward the future, regardless of the time of year.
Now George, after Dante Exum's three-pointer that didn't go. And George kicks to Reid. On the wing, Williams, covered by Johnson. Just 4 to shoot. Reid misses. Exum with it, picked up by Hero. Here's Thomas. A second chance effort. That's a miss, his second after 2 shots. Outside, Hero. Pass to Williams. And just over a minute played here in the start of the game. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
First points of the night, and you know this is going to be a battle of matchups.
What's going to be fascinating to watch is which matchups are they willing to go exploit.
Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Inside, here's Thomas. And he makes good on the layup.
That's agility and touch. Cam Thomas gets that to fall inside.
Now the Heat with it. They're getting their first look of the season at the Nets in this one.
And they won the season series against this club last year, but, then again, so did a lot of other teams.
Now, Hero really struggled in the loss against Minnesota. Beyond the arc. And there's Paul George on the assist from Hero.
Paul George's shooting form is just so pretty. This guy's ability to make shots so easy.
And Dwayne Wade is the first Heat player to be honored with a statue. And Greg, that's pretty significant for a very successful franchise.
And Kevin, well deserved, right? D-Wade, the best player in franchise history. He helped bring 3 championships to the city. Plus, he's already got a street named after him.
Well, there you see Paul George as a facilitator. He can create his own, or he can get somebody else open.
If you're just tuning in, we played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. Let's check in with our reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks very much. Was able to talk with Jordy Fernandez for a minute. Coach said he knows the obstacles of playing against Paul George. He told me, he's going to have his fingerprints all over this game on offense and defense. Our goal will be to minimize how often we let him disrupt our game plan. To see how long they can keep George out of the picture. Kevin?
All right, thank you, David. And so it's Exum with it. He'll bring it up for the Nets. 6-point game. A tough loss coming against New York in their last game played.
Yeah, every time out, it's a learning experience to some degree, but that's not what they were looking for.
Yeah, listen, it hurts a little more when you play well and fail to close out a game. That was one they should have won.
Brooklyn's gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. From deep, Thomas trains it from beyond the arc. Thomas got 5 points so far.
Well, Cam Thomas is an enthusiastic three-point shooter. This guy will not hesitate.
Here's Hero. Makes it off the glass.
Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack. And where's the help defensively?
To me, that's a complete lack of communication on that side of the ball. These guys need to be talking to each other.
And we got a timeout here called by Jordy Fernandez. This will give him a chance to discuss some potential alterations. And Brooklyn making a change here. Johnson's checked in. Victor Oladipo, he's checked in for the Heat. Here's Thomas. It's hauled in by the Heat, coming off that loss against the Timberwolves.
Live by the three, die by the three. If you're perimeter dependent, you don't really know game to game how it's going to go.
I think when you shoot as poorly as they did from deep in that basketball game, it's not going to go your way very often. The three ball too critical in today's NBA.
Here's Johnson after the made shot from Victor Oladipo. Can't cash in from close range.
Well, we love his ability to attack the rim. He just loses a little bit of focus and misses the chippy.
And you talk about complementary pieces, Doris. Cam Johnson could fit on any team in the NBA.
And that is because, Kevin, he has got one of the most valuable skills in the game today. That's range shooting. He's got size and a quick release, and he just continues to grow on the defensive end.
Cam Thomas was the 27th pick in the 2021 NBA Draft GA. I think a lot of teams, wouldn't you agree, are regretting passing on him.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to believe that he fell all the way to the end of the first round. Lots of teams would love to have a scorer like him on their roster.
DB thinking about Cam Thomas. When he gets on a roll, he is tough to stop.
Kevin, he reminds me a little bit of the microwave Vinnie Johnson back in the days of Detroit. When this guy is hot, get out of his way and let him do his thing.
Covered by Johnson. And that one drops. 7 points in the game.
And a nice job here early of establishing an inside presence.
Last 2 minutes to play. First quarter.
There's 1:59 left to play here in the first. Pass to Thomas. To the paint. Great D that time from Hero. The Heat leading by 6. Covered by Johnson. Now Reed. Banked in off the glass.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Brooklyn's gone, just 1 of 4 from three-point range here in the first. Back to Johnson. A good finish at the rack off the slick feet.
Sometimes a player is born with a passer's mindset. He deals it with conviction.
And here's Oladipo. Outside, Hero. Launches it. The Heat rebound. And he lays it straight in.
And they've come out with a take-no-prisoners approach on the glass here tonight, guys.
Outside Thomas. Pass to Johnson. Thomas against George. Reed with the rebound. Reed's got 4 rebounds in this game. And here is Hero. Good on the triple. Hero's got his second bucket of the night.
Defensively, they've been a step slow here to start.
Right side, Thomas. That shot is off. Excellent D there from George.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
He's guarded by Johnson. The kick out to Oladipo. And as we conclude the first quarter, a one-sided game so far. Heat out front, they're up by 11. 2K Sports back in a moment here in Brooklyn. And And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. And a look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Heat.
They've looked to fire as much as possible from outside the arc, and so far they are hitting at a high clip.
Yeah, and what an excellent display of passing in the early stages of this game. A good deal of their points coming directly off quality passes.
We've got Dante Exum, also Johnson out there. Brook Lopez is out there with Martin, and it's Clowney in at the 4 spot. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn.
Well, that's a case where your teammates are showing trust in you, and he comes through with flying colors.
And the Nets with possession here. Following the 3 by Miami that went in. Johnson. Thompson with the rebound.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. Where there's a lot of emphasis on three-point shooting, Greg. What's your opinion of that?
Well, Kevin, stretching the D isn't just about how far out they have to defend. It's the distance between that and how far in you have to defend. That's why analytics favors shots at the rim and from distance.
Tyler Hero, he's checked in for Miami. Here's Hero. Over Johnson. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim. Hero's got the lead up to 14 now for Miami. Pass to Clowney. Johnson surveying the floor. A floater. It's hauled in by the Heat. They host the Clippers after this game. That'll be the first of 2 straight at home. Love the pass to Williams. That's in there. Love with the assist.
Yeah, sometimes what separates Grant Williams is the power he plays with, great strength.
And we got a timeout here called by Jordy Fernandez. Wants to talk some things over. Might be seeing some things to adjust. Now that we have a chance, let's go to the 2K leaderboard and reveal last season's top shot blockers. Brook Lopez third.
And shot blocking is the element of the game that I think he cares about the most. That's where he puts in that effort and energy.
Now here's Exum. Still scoreless. Lopez a screen on Hero. Sinks the three-pointer.
Well, if you offer no resistance defensively, he's going to knock down the 3. It's really that simple, guys.
Hero kicks to Love. It's Oladipo on the wing. He's defended by Exum. Oladipo outside. Clock at 4. Over Exum. Oladipo misses.
Listen, he can make that shot right there, but I do know they have other options they can go to.
And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far. Exum passes to Martin. And the Nets, another 3.
Well, how about the outstanding vision from the crafty point guard, Dante Exum, seeing the floor beautifully.
And Oladipo kicks to Thompson. Pass to Williams. Here is Love. And he uses the glass on the layup. And the Heat lead by 12.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams.
Lopez a screen on Hero. Here's Johnson. Miami grabs the miss.
Boy, against so little defensive pressure, you have to convert that.
Wasted no time on that one. Love's got 5 points now this quarter.
And they're right around 50% for the game on their threes, and they've only gotten better as the game's gone on.
Nets passing it around. The 3 from Johnson. Thompson with the rebound. And so it's Williams who brings it up for Miami. The lead is... Oh, what a dunk!
Look out below!
Williams.
Boy, how about that assist from Grant Williams? Really nice vision.
And they're bringing you up close and personal on the AT&T 5G Slam Cam. Johnson outside. They need this. It's hauled in by the Heat. Thompson's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Here's Hero. The teardrop falls in. And that's now 9 points for Tyler Hero.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
And we got a timeout here called by Jordy Fernandez. He wants to talk to his guys.
Substitutions on the court.
Nets trail by 19. Outside Thomas. Trying his luck from deep. And his 3rd shot of the night, no good, 0 for 3.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area.
For Brooklyn, they've gone just 33% from the field in what's been a cold second quarter for them. Just 3 of 9. Fires from deep. Made that one only his 4th of this game after firing 10 times from the floor.
And they are absolutely stroking it from beyond the arc.
And he dunks it down.
Oh, he is a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
That could be a contender for the dunk of the year, I think. Brooklyn's gotten half their shots from 3-point range to go down in the second quarter. 3 of 6 from downtown.
Last 2 minutes to play. Second quarter.
Tries again. Reed with the block.
Boy, give Naz Reid credit. He perfectly timed that block. Wow.
Hero, no good.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
Johnson, the pass to Claxton. 1:33 left in the second quarter. And he's still waiting to make his first shot for the night. Now 0 of 4. Getting the latest now from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David, it's all yours. Take it away.
Kevin, thanks. At this point in his career, Paul George says he's in bully mode. He said, every night I'm on the floor, I'm there to dominate. Whether it's being more physical or going right at whoever I got to go at, you're going to feel me. I'm having that approach every time. I'm there to destroy you. Kevin?
I love it, though, D.A. Got to admit it. Awful powerful. Thank you. Dante Exum, he's checked in for the Nets. Drives to the hoop. Uses the glass to finish the layup. He's got 13.
And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
No, I think that's the one thing every player is searching for. Consistency. They're giving this guy a chance to carry the offense once again.
And a chance here to see the numbers for Paul George. Last year, getting it done. Last season put up about 16 points a game, 5 rebounds and 4 assists. He's been nothing short of fantastic during that stretch. Offense coming very easily for him.
And so much of it to me is his ability to read the floor, make the right decision, and then go right after the action he wants.
It's the Nets now, following the score by Miami. Johnson left side, tries a 3. Rebound by the Heat.
I'll tell you, no matter what he does, he can't find his rhythm, and you get the sense he's starting to press a little bit.
Count it.
A lot to like about the way they're playing right now, but still plenty of time left.
You do like that the offense is humming along. They're putting in the effort to distance themselves.
George against Thomas.
Miami foul. Paul George.
The Nets have made their only other free throw attempt today in an earlier trip to the line.
And last season, as a team, they knocked down 79% of their free throws, so those are numbers you'll be happy with.
And both free throws good for Thomas. Solid play on the low block, and that one's good.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
One thing we've learned in the NBA, the game is never over. So you've got to continue to score, continue to build your lead.
And so it's the Miami Heat cruising into the quarter break with a 22-point lead. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. We'll return shortly.
Hey folks, happy you joined us. The action tonight, a bit wild and a big deficit now for the Brooklyn Nets.
The defense has been trash. That is, if you can call it defense. I call it being lazy.
Yeah, it's lazy, Shaq. They've been outworked, and you gotta beat them to the basketball. That's the kind of team that you want to have. And so far, they haven't answered the bell.
And now here's something that's always interesting. Let's see what the fans are up to on social media. B-Ball Stars presents an intriguing Would You Rather about superpowers. Would you rather be able to be invisible or be able to fly, Kenny?
Come on. What's my nickname? I gotta go with Flight. I'm the Jet. Come on, big dog. How about you?
I'm 7'1". This is my superpower. I'm high enough off the ground already. No need to fly. Plus, I have an actual jet, and I have a superpower voice.
Invisible Shaq doesn't work either. Could you imagine size 22 shoes walking all by themselves? I don't think so.
Eddie. That would be funny. You'd be very visible.
And that concludes halftime. Now time to send it over to Kevin Harlan as the game's about to resume.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. The Heat leading by 22. Here's who Eric Spoelstra is starting the second half with. They've got Reed. Paul George is out there with Tyler Hero. Then it's Williams.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
The specter of injury seems to always loom over Paul George's career, Doris.
Look, Kevin, I think it's very hard for Paul George fans to take out of their mind completely that gruesome injury he suffered. But we've got to give this young man a ton of credit. He has managed his play and his health to a very high level and still one of the most gifted players this game has seen. Boy, there's a smoothness to Paul George's game. He's moving fast, but he makes it look easy.
Nets trail by 21. Here's Thomas, and he drops in the layup off the glass. Thomas got 5 points in the quarter.
Terrific play call to give him a clean look at the rim. That's how you want to start the second half.
Well, there is nothing better than catching a rhythm as early as possible, and boy, that's a terrific start right there.
He's defended by Exum. It doesn't go for him. And it's Thomas with the ball. He brings it up for the Brooklyn Nets. At the conclusion of this game, they're off to Detroit, where they'll face the Pistons. That'll be the first half of a two-game trip. The shot's good. He's got 19.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
Outside Thomas. Nets passing it around. And Claxton throws it down.
Oh, the athleticism on display. Nick Claxton makes these throwdowns look easy.
And the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
The Heat have missed both of their free throws tonight, 0 for 2 so far.
One time from the line.
For Brooklyn, they've gone 3 of 3 from the field since halftime. Pass to Johnson. And we're just around 2 minutes into the final half of play now. Here's Thomas. Bucket is good. Thomas got 20 points.
Great play calling, great execution, leads to 4 for 4 to start this half.
He's defended by Exum. And the layup's good off the glass.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
The Nets have gone 4 for 4 from the field since the halftime break. Terrific start to the third quarter. Rebound by the Heat.
But only the first miss of the second half. They've come out here with authority.
To the middle, here's Reed, 8 feet away. That one off the back iron and out.
You know, they don't score on that shot, but they're going to be happy with those kinds of possessions.
Pass to Exum. Unable to get that one. The Heat leading by 22. To the inside, here's George. George double teamed. Outside, Hero. 5 on the clock. From outside, off the mark.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Thomas passes to Johnson, and then Johnson with the dunk.
Size and athleticism by Cam Johnson. How about that vertical?
Miami's gotten a lot of looks from outside tonight, 5 of 12. Shots good by Hero. Hero's got 11.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
To me, this has simply stated been a complete lack of defensive attention and focus all night long.
And we got a timeout here called by Jordy Fernandez. He's made the decision. He wants to huddle up with his guys. Exum finds Johnson. Back to Exum. On the wing, Johnson. 7 points in the game. Back to Exum. Fires the 3. Rebound by Williams. The Heat leading by 22. The kick out to Oladipo. Clowney pulls it in. Nets have gotten 5 of 8 shots to fall for them in the third quarter. A nice 62% from the field. From 20 feet out. Shot is good off the back rim and in. He has 5.
You can get a real sense that Victor Oladipo loves sharing the wealth. What a nice look.
Johnson, a wide open look. Off the mark there with the 3-point shot.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Good. He's got 26.
Boy, it seems like every shot he puts up, it's going in. This guy is hot. Hot.
Brooklyn's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Back to Exum. On the wing, Johnson. Johnson with the bounce pass. Pass to Exum. And finished off by Exum.
How about the leaping ability of Dante Exum? Terrific instincts on that one.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
And as for last season, he was a 74% shooter at the line.
Brook Lopez is checked in for Nicholas Claxton. And timeout is called by Eric Spoelstra. He's ready to talk things through with the team. Martin's checked in for Exum. The Heat leading by 23. 1:30 left in the third. They get a hand on it. Pass to Williams. Good ball movement here by Miami. 3-pointer. Rebounded by the Nets.
Well, he had 1 3-pointer in the first half, but so far in the second, he's come up with goose eggs.
Martin with the bucket. Martin's got his second basket of the night.
Yeah, the D has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor.
He's guarded by Johnson. Played in with a nice touch off the glass.
And he's starting to show that killer instinct this quarter, looking to extend the lead.
Johnson dishes to Johnson. Johnson sets the screen for Johnson. Driving to the basket. The Nets have looked good at the line. They're perfect in 4 attempts. And that one falls for Johnson.
You know what's interesting to me about Cam Johnson? He comes into the league with a reputation strictly as a sweet shooter. The fact is, he's proven to be much more than that.
And both free throws good for Johnson. Miami leading by 21. We've got 33 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Pass to Hawkins. And taken away by Johnson. Right there, the defender clearly trying to inhibit a fast break. I think that's a transition take foul. This is his second trip to the line in this one. That's good from Johnson.
And even though they're down, they are putting on a show at the free throw line.
The Heat making a switch here. Johnson's checked in. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Here's Traoré. Four on the shot clock. Plays it up and makes it in.
And looking a lot better now, but still a long way to go to get back into this one.
Yeah, but this run started with tighter execution at both ends, and that'll need to be maintained for them to have a chance to take the lead.
And so it's Miami controlling the game and finishing the quarter with a 20-point lead. Their defense has been active and effective. We come back right after this. Let's listen in on what Eric Spoelstra had to say to his team.
Trust each other. Let's get that ball moving. Right? Ball moving. No holds. No holds. Right?
Well, moving the ball is so important to these coaches.
I mean, it helps make the offense run smoothly, Kevin. When you move the ball, more scoring opportunities open up.
And there have been two very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. They've got Martin. Johnson is out there with Brook Lopez. And it's Clowney in at power forward. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. Juzang passes to Thompson. Hawkins outside. The 19-foot shot. No good off the front iron.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
The shot by Johnson, no good. The Heat leading by 20. Hawkins with the ball, and it's Martin picking him up. Here's Thompson, and the rebound goes to Lopez. Johnson, the pass to Martin. Thompson with the rebound. Thompson's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Takes a 3. Hawkins with the bucket.
Well, he showed right there. This guy capable of making shots, especially if you leave him that wide open.
Johnson down low. Hawkins defending. Lopez against Thompson. And it's Lopez. No time on the assist by Martin. Lopez has got his first 2 points.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Got that one up quick.
Yeah, that's 2 straight three-pointers they've allowed.
And so it's Johnson who brings the ball up for the Brooklyn Nets. Pass to Traoré. Tried to come right back with a 3 of his own, but it's no good. Puts up a 3. Rebounded by the Nets. And we're around 2 minutes into the fourth quarter here. Johnson in the corner. Here's Clowney to the left side wing. 6 on the shot clock. Traoré. And Clowney can't get it to go. The Heat have gone 2 for 5 on field goal attempts in the fourth quarter. And he banks in the layup.
Well, the defense wants to keep the ball out of that area. Why? Because if it gets in there, most players are going to finish.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill. Pass
to Martin. Lets it go from deep. And Clowney can't get it to go. Here's Hackett. And he overshot that one, missing. Brooklyn's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Here's Martin. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. It's going to go on Tristan Thompson. Doris, why is there so much parity around the NBA now?
Yeah, Kevin, I think the new salary cap rules have certainly contributed to what we're seeing in terms of that parity. Super teams are more difficult to assemble. The talent is more evenly spread. And obviously, it has made for a greater level of competition. What could be better?
And they came out of the locker room after halftime with a much more physical approach than what we saw in that first half. The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
And out of bounds as the Heat gain possession. Hornets making a switch here. Exum's checked in.
Number 0, Dante Exum.
Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter now. And there it is for him.
12.
Nets shooting at 36% on the night. They've got to step it up offensively. Thomas dishes to Johnson. Back to Thomas. And it's Miami with the rebound. For 3. Here's Jovic. Lays it up and off the glass.
And the D getting outworked there on the putback. Can't let that happen.
You have got to put a body on somebody. We talk about it ad nauseum, but you've got to be disciplined with the box outs.
Down low, looking to end the run, and it's laid up and in by Thomas. Thomas got 9 points here in the second half.
I'll tell you, tough first half puts it in the rear view. The shooting percentage starting to reflect that.
Pass to Oladipo. And the NBA helping establish academies and even leagues, Greg, on foreign soil. Do you expect more to come?
I do, Kevin. I think the league recognizes it has a big role to play in the expansion of the game globally. Investments being made with the long-term view in mind.
Exum kicks to Johnson. Trying to break that ice-cold streak, and it's good on the way in.
Oh, tremendous pass from Cam Johnson there. Nice work.
And the Heat call time here. 1:53 left here in the fourth quarter. And now, let's present our New Balance Player of the Game.
And it's been a ridiculous performance in the best sense possible. I mean, everything about his game has been working. And no matter what they've thrown at him, he's had the answer.
They increased his role tonight after dropping their last game, and the move paid off. He's been the best player on the court by far, and now they don't have to worry about a losing streak. And it's the Heat with the ball. They've allowed just 7 points here in the fourth quarter from 18 feet away. Here's Jovic. Outside Hero. Just 5 to shoot. And a strong finish with 2 hands.
Just Mr. Reliable again here today, Kevin. I mean, they need his points, and he's producing.
There's 1:34 left in the fourth quarter. Outside Thomas. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Exum the bounce pass. Rebound by the Heat.
Listen, that's a shot he can make, but obviously the defense okay letting him shoot it.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout. A dominating performance for the Heat.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And so with this, they'll end up with their second win on the year.
And against a conference opponent, always good to take that first win of the season series to establish a psychological edge.
Thomas passes to Claxton. Thompson with the rebound. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. Hero with it, and it's Johnson picking him up, and he makes that one.
Saw the opportunity to put this away and did not turn it down.
Yeah, playing with great energy and great effort. And as a coach, you'd love to see this from your team every single night.
Back to Thomas. Can they get it? Connects from three-point range.
Jeremiah, number 9.
6 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Nets foul. Cameron Johnson. First personal foul. First team foul. Shooting for Miami. Flag.
That one is off. And he can't make the second free throw either. Missing both.
Flag. First personal foul. Team seconds. Heat substitution. Number 16. Keisha Johnson.
And so Miami takes this one by a big margin. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't like to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Hey, Kevin, thanks. Paul, a great team effort defensively. So what were your points of emphasis?
You know, we do a great job of helping one another and being in gaps. And, you know, if we're going to get beat, it's going to have to be, you know, beaten by contested shots and the ball being swung. You know, so that's what we have to do. We have to sit down, guard guys, and, you know, make them play on the offensive end as a team.
Well, y'all were real disruptive tonight, man, and led to the win. Congratulations. Kevin, back to you.
Thanks so much, David. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for tuning in. And now, our player of the game.